Hey everyone, I'm Safra. I do quite a lot of things. Just to give you an idea, so I run TEDx Colombo. I have my own event company, possibly starting an e-commerce one, and also volunteer for numerous organizations in the country. For example, Muslim Aid, United Nations Volunteers, and so on. So just a little bit to give you an idea of where I'm coming from. For all my life, from the very beginning, from day one, I've always was wondering, what do I do with my life? Because in my picture perfect family, everyone was dedicated computer engineers. They knew exactly what they had to do. They had to get a degree. They had to finish everything, and they had what would be called a sure shot definition of where their life was going to go at that point in time. But I, on the other hand, as all black sheep in the family, had no idea what I was doing. So I wanted to try out everything that I loved and identify if what was good for me and what wasn't. So at that time, when I was just 18, I joined absolutely everything I wanted. So was it painting class? Was it public speaking? I joined Toastmasters at a very young age of 18. I became president when I was only almost 20, being the youngest president in the country for a Toastmasters club. So through that, I tested and prodded every single aspect of what I could do. It was as simple as trying, because in the end, it's all those different opportunities that you grab at that time that make you who you are over the years to come. Sometimes the challenge is that you just try it. So with me, what I realized was that at that age, volunteering was a huge thing for me. I wanted to be able to make a difference in people's lives, and definitely in the lives of children. So, with the age, at that time, I started projects to influence disability, how people should look at it, because at that time, especially, it's even now the case now, but at that time, it was a huge thing that most parents did not want to leave their kids away from their homes. They were stuck to their bed sometimes. They didn't understand what was wrong with them, especially when it comes to mental illness, or if it's Down syndrome or autism. So they didn't really understand what was going on. And something that I realized was that if I didn't do it, then who would do it? Because it was something that was very important to me, because I believe that children don't have a voice. They don't. They really need someone to advocate for them. And I thought that being a teenager myself, just being out of a world of like school and all of that, that I needed to be that voice. And all everyone during that time was just looking at education. They was doing their degrees and so on, but I decided that my education would be beyond just getting qualified. It would be to change people's lives. And then we started projects around the country to tell people how disability can change what we can do, and how they need the same opportunities that we do. But if I and then through that, I identified how I could bridge networks together, how I could bring people together, how I could get communities to help each other. We had most of our projects were not funded by any organization. They were actually funded by the people in the communities. They would come in to our bake sales, they would talk about the issue, and then we would actually have conversations based on that. And through that, I learned that this is something I truly loved, making a difference, moving across spectrums, and being able to have the hard conversations that people don't usually have. And through that, I was able to also use skills that I had through things like Toastmasters and public speaking opportunities that I had through that. So I actually learned how to make a presentation, how to run through things, and then was able to get people convinced in what I had to do. And that would have not been possible if I didn't challenge myself to try it out. Because in honest truth, my dad just came up to me and said, hey, I'm going to put you in this thing. It sounds interesting. You might learn something. You're anyway jobless. So why don't you try it? And I said, yes, because I really didn't have anything else to do. And through that, I've been in it for over 10 years now. I've learned so much, met so many people, had so many networking opportunities, and even got a few jobs from it. And you wouldn't realize the capability of building that network and that community and doing it because you love something so much that people believe in what you're saying and believe in what you're doing. And through that, I was able to look at things like building platforms, because this was just the beginning for me, where we built platforms and and I tried to bring in a strong network of people to talk about different subjects. And that's how TEDx was actually born, because TEDx was purely a platform to bring out ideas, to bring out incredible stories throughout the country into one huge platform which they deserved, and it was global but done locally. So these ideas that we brought out, have you've even heard a few of them speak here on this platform, like for example Shanuki Dialvis. She's had a talk here before. So her talk was our first speech, which had a standing ovation. We spoke about waste management before the Meet Oramula fell. We had speeches on transparency and how people can actually ask for asset declarations and identify what they need to know from the government, from the public sector. And now today you can actually request this information from any government information service, and you are allowed to have it. So that's a huge step that we've made, and I can't say I did all the work, but I think our team at TEDx Colombo, we actually brought that platform because it was something we loved. We cared about it. We wanted to push that message through, that if you love something so much and you push forward and you actually do the work to prove your idea, then definitely you will have a platform that will bring you to that stage where you can actually make a difference. So think about what your idea is, what your life is like, and think about what are the things that you need to do to get to where you want to be. Because for me, it was trying out public speaking, it was trying out being an artist, it was trying out how to actually pull this through. I also failed a few times because there were things I realized I was really not good at. For example, I can't do fitness, I can't do running, I can't do jogging. For example, once my brother made me climb a mountain in the middle of Malaysia. It was raining, it was crawling. I thought that I was this brave girl who can do anything, and I literally cried all the way up. But that was, but then at least at the end when I got to the top, my brother turned to me and said, "For all the crying you've done, you've at least got to the top of the mountain. It was such a pain, but at least now I can talk about it in my stories and be like, hey, I actually did it." And it's inspired me to try out different challenges that have come across my life, which have really changed how I think about it. Because if you think about it, it's not a challenge. It's all, everything we go through on a daily basis is a challenge. But at least if you've tried it, you know what you can do, what you can accomplish, what you can test out, and see if that is that what makes a difference for you. Because for each person has to realize that every single person has a unique skill set. Every single person has a thing they love and they can do, that they can really push through to get to where they want to be. Because we're past, if you've seen, like, everything in the world has changed overnight. We were once told, like, you can be be an accountant, you can be a lawyer, you can do this, and these are general jobs that you do. But now we're really surviving on the grocery workers, the cleaners, the medical professionals that are out there, the manufacturers of medical equipment. The whole dynamics have changed. As an event business now, I can't really have an event in public. I can't really push people together into the same room. But if I just went like, oh no, my business will fail, I can't really do this anymore, I wouldn't be able to sustain such a business. I need to think about, what do I do now? What are the opportunities that I have? How do I test out that option? How do I go? And in our case, obviously, digital is a huge thing now. So how do I try that? Do I just stay here and wait till this whole period is over, or do I test out the opportunities that it has, and then be able to bring out ideas that could really change or revolutionize the country and what it can do? So today, when you think about what you're doing with your life, just don't really think too much. Just over the next few weeks, just do whatever you can to really test out what are the things you love, what are the things that can really take you to where you want to be. Maybe you fail at it, it's fine, because all of us do it. All of us don't really know the exact answers to all our problems. We don't know what it can do, but we need to be able to try it out, see if we love it, see if we identify with what we're doing, and then we really need to like work on it. So if it's that Google course or the Udemy course that you've looked at, or if it's just painting while you're in quarantine over the period, maybe it's that you want to try public speaking, so you try and join these online groups. Maybe it's that you advocate for a cause that you truly believe in. I know a friend of mine, she didn't really do anything while she had her career going on, because she was so focused in finishing her exams and trying to figure out how to be an accountant. But now she's going around Baunia and she's becoming one of the main people doing social work there. And she's been distributing to over 400 families at the moment. And she's doing this single handedly. And people actually come over to her house and ask her for help from all different communities. And that all just started because she tried it out. She put a post up on Facebook and said, this is the problem we have right now, and I really want to help these people, so I'm going to do it. And it doesn't mean that you have to go around donating parcels or food or any of that. It could just be simple things, like, for example, try writing a book while you're at home, or try painting, or just do anything that you feel can test what your boundaries are. I think there's this famous quote that everyone quotes around the world, where it says, if you don't know what to do, then just say yes and then figure it out later. So here's to all of us here figuring it out, because there's no right or wrong answer. There's no specific answer to anything in this time, because right now we're testing it, and be okay with testing it, be okay with failing at it. And I am definitely sure that throughout the time that we're here, that we will really make a difference, either personally or in our communities, because we are the ones who will build our platforms. We are the ones who will bring those ideas to light. We are the ones who will change what we can in our realms of things. It doesn't mean that we change it on a global scale. It can just be within our private lives, and be able to look back in our lives and know that we've touched something and we've loved every single moment of it. So think about it. Think about what you want to do, what you want to see, how you wish to change, what is ahead of you, because life is short. You never know what could happen, and this trying time is a great testament to that. So, and maybe it's just hanging in there and talking about it. So be be happy with what you have, and then love every moment of it, because at the end of the day, you can inspire yourself and thereby inspire others. So go try something you love.